As he stepped out of the teleportation booth, Tom felt the familiar disorientation wash over him. It wasn't that he hadn't done this 1,000 times before. It was just that his stomach never seemed to get the hang of it. He took a deep breath, letting the slightly metallic tang of the booth's air mix with the damp, earthy smell of the planet's native soil. The landing platform stretched out before him, a utilitarian sprawl of gray concrete and steel. Tom's eyes scanned the rows of booths, each one humming softly as it prepared for its next passenger. A small, flickering sign above the platform read, "Welcome to Xylophia 4, Agricultural Planet 7421. Tom snorted. Agricultural planet, indeed. The only thing they grew on Xylophia 4 was debt. He spotted a group of spacers huddled near the platform's edge, their worn jackets and scuffed boots a testament to the harsh realities of intergalactic trade. Tom ambled over, exchanging nods and murmurs with the veterans. They knew better than to ask what he was doing here. Everyone on Xylophia 4 was hiding from something. Tom Harris, a low, gravelly voice called out, echoing off the concrete. You're a hard man to find. Tom's gut tightened as he turned to face the speaker. There, resplendent in a bespoke suit and dripping with an air of superiority, stood Reginald P. Bottomsworth, the most notorious usurer in the galaxy. What was he doing on this backwater planet, and what did he want with Tom? Tom's instincts screamed at him to run, but his legs seemed rooted to the spot. Bottomsworth's eyes gleamed with a predatory intensity, his smile a thin, calculating thing. "Ah, Tom, we've been looking everywhere for you," Bottomsworth said, his voice dripping with false bonhomie. "You owe me, Tom. You owe me dearly." Tom's mind raced back to the ill-fated cargo run, the one that had gone sour when the Zorvathian Empire impounded his ship. He'd borrowed heavily to refinance, but it seemed that Bottomsworth had somehow acquired the debt. "I don't owe you anything, Reggie," Tom lied, trying to keep his voice steady. Bottomsworth chuckled, a dry, humorless sound. "Oh, but you do, Tom. You see, I've acquired the entire debt, including the penalty clauses. You're in a bit of a pickle, old chap." Tom's eyes darted around the platform, searching for an escape route or, better yet, a distraction. The spacers were watching the exchange with interest, but none of them seemed inclined to intervene. Bottomsworth's goons, lurking at the edge of the platform, seemed to be enjoying the show. "I think we can come to some sort of arrangement, Reggie," Tom ventured, trying to stall for time. "I have some connections on Xylophia 4. I can scrounge up something to tide you over." Bottomsworth's smile grew wider, his eyes glinting with amusement. "Oh, I think we can do better than that, Tom. Much better. You see, I've recently acquired a proposition that requires a man of your particular skills." Tom's gut tightened further, a cold dread creeping up his spine. He knew that tone, that look. It spelled trouble, and trouble spelled opportunity. "What kind of proposition?" Tom asked, his voice laced with skepticism. Bottomsworth's smile grew wider, his eyes glinting with excitement. "Ah, Tom, I think you'll find this one fascinating. You see, I've acquired a map." A murmur ran through the gathered spacers, and Tom's instincts screamed at him to be cautious. Maps were always trouble, especially when they changed hands as frequently as they did on Xylophia 4. "A map that supposedly leads to the fabled planet of Arkeia," Bottomsworth continued, his voice low and conspiratorial. "Rumors say it's a world of untold riches, a place where the very fabric of space-time is warped and distorted. Imagine it, Tom, a planet where the laws of physics are mere suggestions, where the impossible becomes possible." Tom's grip on his duffel bag tightened, his mind racing with the possibilities. Arkeia was a myth, a fantasy spun by spacers around campfires and in cramped spaceports. And yet, what makes you think this map is genuine? Tom asked, trying to sound nonchalant despite the thrum of excitement building in his chest. Bottomsworth's smile faltered for a moment, a hint of uncertainty flickering behind his eyes. "Let's just say I have assurances. The map's previous owner was quite convincing." Tom's instincts screamed at him to walk away, to leave Bottomsworth and his wild schemes behind. But something about the Usurer's words, about the promise of Arkeia, had hooked him deep. "How much?" Tom asked, the words slipping out of his mouth before he could catch them. Bottomsworth's smile returned, wider and more triumphant than before. "Oh, Tom, I think we can come to a very reasonable arrangement. You see, I'm willing to forgive your debt in full if you'll just retrieve something for me from Arkeia." Tom's gut tightened, a cold dread creeping up his spine. He knew that tone, that look, it spelled trouble, and trouble spelled adventure. "What do you want me to retrieve?" Tom asked, his voice laced with caution. Bottomsworth's eyes gleamed with excitement. "Ah, that's the best part, Tom. I want you to bring back a artifact, a small, ornate box, said to contain a fragment of the Arkean essence. They call it the Echo of Eternity." Tom's eyebrow shot up. "The Echo of Eternity? Sounds like a myth, Reggie." Bottomsworth's smile faltered for a moment, before he regained his composure. "Perhaps it is, Tom. Perhaps it's just a myth. But what if it's not? What if this box truly does hold the key to unlocking the secrets of the universe?" Tom snorted. "You don't believe that, Reggie. You're just looking for a way to get richer." Bottomsworth's expression turned cold, his eyes flashing with anger. "You'd be surprised what I believe, Tom, and what I'm willing to do to get what I want. Now, are you in or out?" Tom hesitated, his mind racing with the possibilities. He could use the money, and the thrill of adventure was calling his name. But he knew better than to trust Bottomsworth. "I'm in," Tom said finally, extending a hand. Bottomsworth's grip was like a vice as they shook hands. "Excellent, Tom. I knew I could count on you. You'll find the map and the details of the job in your duffel bag. Good luck, Tom. You'll need it." As Tom turned to leave, he caught a glimpse of a figure watching from the shadows, a figure with eyes that seemed to bore into his very soul. Tom's instincts screamed at him to beware, but it was too late. He was already in too deep. Tom's hand closed around the map, the parchment feeling worn and fragile between his fingers. He unfolded it, his eyes scanning the intricate markings and symbols etched into the surface. It looked like a genuine navigation chart, complete with navigational beacons and hazard warnings. As he studied the map, a strange sensation crept over him, as if the very fabric of space-time was shifting to accommodate the impossible geometry of Arkeia. The map seemed to pulse with a faint, otherworldly energy, drawing him in with an unsettling intensity. Tom's mind raced with the possibilities. What secrets lay hidden on Arkeia? What mysteries awaited him in the depths of that fabled world? A faint humming noise drew his attention to the platform's edge, where a battered old cargo ship, the Maelstrom's Revenge, was preparing for liftoff. A grease-stained mechanic waved at Tom, a rough-looking woman with a cybernetic arm and a grin that spelled trouble. "Hey, Harris, you're the one going to Arkeia, right? I've got your ride. Buckle up, kid. We've got a long way to go." Tom's gut tightened as he stowed his gear and boarded the ship. The humming noise grew louder, and the Maelstrom's Revenge lurched into the sky, leaving Xylophia 4's dusty surface behind. As they broke atmosphere, Tom felt the universe twist and writhe around him, like a living, breathing entity. The stars blurred and distorted, and the ship's engines screamed in protest as they pierced the veil of reality. Tom's stomach dropped as the ship shuddered, reality warping and bending around them. He knew that he was about to enter the unknown, a realm where the laws of physics were mere suggestions, and the impossible became possible. Arkeia, here he came,